Good evening, everybody. Matt Geary here for Geek Pride's Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign, The Legend of Our Sacrifice. Sorry we've been away, but with illness, booty calls, and such, we've been slightly busy. Unfortunately, we've got no Danny tonight because obviously new child has taken over priority. Mark is currently eating an Indian, and Pete is otherwise indisposed. But instead of canning it off for another week, we thought we'd just power through, maybe do a bit of a side quest or something. So with me tonight we have Michael Tharaval.
Good evening, everyone.
We have Wes as well, Velashil Nostius.
Good evening, everyone.
And we have Mark.
No, you
Not
don't.
Mark. Oh, you're not Mark. I've got you in the wrong thing. We got Dave as Thomas Moonstar. I put you in Mark's space, and I just went down the list. There you go. Apologies. We have Dave as Thomas Moonstar.
Evening, all.
Right. Let's move you out of the way there, Mark. All right. So there you go.
Dave. His name's Dave.
Dave. Okay. So, let me just move this. People not being here, messing with my chi. Okay, move that down up there then. So it's in people's way. Out of your way. Is that? Oh, that's gonna mess with my OCD right there. Oh, okay, I'll just have to do. Right. Okay. So the last session, you bumped into Temple Smith, who basically told you about what was going on. He told you that. What did he tell you? What did he tell you? In fact, he told you about. Oh God, it's been so long. What did he tell you?
Where are my notes?
Yeah, let me get my notes out. Let me get my notes out.
I actually started taking them.
Yeah,
Blimey. It's the way forward, Wes.
Yeah, so you got some maps. Oh, that's right. I forgot you had some maps. Which I've made and not bloody cut. Just while you're Wes is looking for notes. Because anybody else gonna sort of give us a quick rundown while I get these maps sorted out? Because I forgot to add them on and stuff. No.
So, from what I remember, we had followed. We'd been tipped off about meeting somebody. I can't remember the name of the person, but basically we followed them into an
Temple
alleyway.
Temple
Smith. Yeah, it was Temple Smith. Yeah.
So we followed them into an alleyway and sort of took position surrounding them, waiting for a person to meet them. Draken placed strategically
on top of a tower.
On the top of a tower, ready to pounce. And then people appeared. All chaos broke loose, killed a lot of people. They made some of us fall off roofs. Draken made himself fall off a roof. And then we managed to get Temple Smith.
No, you did, and then you got you killed one of the guys, I think, and
we got some maps and things off looting them.
And you got so you got some maps from the library, which I'll add in. No, I don't know if I can do it, but you also got some information from a dead one of the dead guys because you sort of you did.
Thomas Moonstar necromanced them.
Yes, you did.
So that's why I had to leave, right? I remember.
Yes.
Fancy a bit of necromance.
Necromance. So where the hell is this not? Oh, because that's in the wrong thing. I can't add it onto this. So does anybody remember what information you got from him?
Yeah, so or from the cultist or from Temple Smith himself?
Both. Give us the cultist stuff first.
Cultist stuff. I don't know if we did. Well, no, obviously we did. I didn't write any of that bit. No, yes, I did. Yes, I did. So they were going to rendezvous in the North Port on the island, and their main fleet was in the East Port or the Eastern Port. We found out that Ciravel's wife is in the main citadel and is currently the toy of the master and awaiting to be a sacrifice. And Lord Taunt was to be used as bait to bring his armies in that would then be captured and used as a mass ritual sacrifice to fuel their next dark spell, but we don't know what that was going to be.
Very good. Yep.
So, did we say about Ceravel's wife?
Yeah.
So she's in the main citadel, the toy of the master, and awaiting her sacrifice.
Can I, if I way of showing things, spare with me 1 minute. So I don't. There's a way. I'm sure there's a way of just showing somebody something from the screen on. Like if I. It's not working. Maps wise, I'm sure there's a way of just showing maps on the screen, and I can't think of what it was. I'm sure I did it. Anyway, while I sort of try and figure that out, and I'm gonna have to turf my cat out because he's making a noise. But you basically have Temple Smith. He's basically said that he was forced to sort of help them. He had bad gambling debts. He had bad gambling debts to Greybeard, wasn't it Greybeard? Who is obviously dead now. And basically he says he'll do whatever he can to help you and help him sort of kind of regain a bit more honor and stuff. He wasn't doing it because he tried to sort of kind of guess if he was, a bad person, and he just made some bad choices. He just made some bad choices in life, and well, basically, he says he'll help out in whatever way he can to sort of kind of make good from those bad choices. So it's literally a case of what you do from this point on. You can go back to the... So basically, because there's not everybody here, it's probably best we don't make any major decisions on what's happening and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But we can
sort of... We could do a Draken thing and just go and attack the island, all three of us.
Well, there's so there's sort of you can sort of kind of decide where you want to go from this point, and then we can kind of go from there. I'll sort of kind of just throw some stuff at you. I'll not railroad you, but I'll sort of throw into certain directions and stuff, and maybe hope you go in that direction. So what do you want to do from this point on? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
I haven't got a clue.
Maps. Oh yes, I need to get these maps up as well and stuff. There has to be a way of showing these maps just as.
Is it the ones that you have in the Discord?
Yeah, it's the ones from the Discord, but there's a way of just showing them on screen, and right. What I'm just gonna do is create just 1, 2, 3, 4 of these down here, and then this cat. Oh my God, both animals, absolute a-holes sometimes. Right. So we've got Kibera. Oh, we don't want that. Take that off. We want map overlay. Breath. Right, so we've got right, that is Kiberath. Let me just name that. There is an easier way to do this. I just can't remember how to do it. That's Kibarath. I will move you on to that. Yes, Cat. I will move soon. Up here with the rest of the maps. Where did I put yous? Oh, here we go. Roll20's being slightly slow today. Where are you on this? I've got too many maps. Okay. So this is Kibarath. So this is basically a old map of that you got from the library of the main sort of kind of fortification within the center of the island of Kibarath itself. So that's one of the maps that is of that. Now let me. I obviously. Where is that? What's that? Then we want this, which is the port. And I need to edit that. Width, we need it to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more, I think. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Kibarath port. Port. That can move up there as well. All right, there we go. We have this, if it'll do its thing. Punk. So this is the port of Kibarath again. It's an old map you've got from the library, but this is sort of the layout. So you've got the main, sort of kind of town or sort of like port itself, but it is sort of kind of protected by, or at least it used to be protected by sort of fortifications on the main sort of at the entrance, obviously halfway down towards the main sort of port part. The sort of bottom area is the docks, where they sort of kind of the dry harbors and things where they sort of kind of build the ships effectively. So that is that one. Then we've got the southern. That needs to be expanded. That is the southern 5. Southern landing. You got a southern landing now. I forgot to add into this, but there's basically a road that goes down from Kibarath itself. So you can see in Kibarath, you've got a. Actually, you can't see in Kibarath because I've not moved you across to it. So you can see in Kiberath, there's a road that leads to the south, the southwest. That road should lead sort of down here as well. So there should be a road that goes. I'll draw it on here. Why not? Sort of. Why isn't this letting me draw things? I think so. It sort of, goes down in this direction here. So there's basically
Is that the ruins of an old guard tower? Was that a lighthouse?
Yes.
Do we know?
You can, I suppose the book will tell you. So it's sort of it would have been like an old guard tower. This is basically one of the main sort of ways in and out. So basically there's actually no, I lie. That goes let me undo that. Clear drawings. Clear. It is. So this. So you've got the road that leads down here, but it goes down this staircase here, and then on to the main road like that. There's also the road that comes down here and then goes to this guard tower here. You have what is like an entrance to what it says is a mine entrance underneath there.
Right.
To that point there. So you've basically got the main entrance, which is this sort of kind of like windy staircase that goes up the sort of the cliffs. Then you've got the sort of guard tower and this what is a mine there to the south.
How old are the maps that we found? Do we know?
They're pre Civil War. So basically, after the Civil War, Kiberath was destroyed.
Right.
So they're hundreds of years old. Right. So it that the Kiberath is a ruin. So you're not expecting it to be a fully fortified city as shown in the map.
Yeah.
So obviously these are old maps of it because nobody's done anything in the area recently to sort of kind of know what's going on. So this is the best you've got of that sort of area.
Do we know if smugglers or pirates used it previously before the cultists inhabited it?
It was potentially being used. I think for the it was allegedly being used by the cultists who were just before the Battle of Silkside. Or at least it was used as a diversion for Lady Taunt and her forces, so she couldn't reach Silkside. Mm-hmm. But obviously, she just said there wasn't. When she said we got there was nobody there, and obviously it was a trick. So she.
Can we find out where Lady Taunt landed then, and potentially land there if we are going to attack it? I don't know what we're actually doing. Like, are we planning? Are we planning the assault like a?
Well, you need just tell me where you're going now. I'll give you I think I'll just see if I've got anything else I need to give you here. So I've got. Oh yes, all right. I've got one more map here. Which is the northern sort of. It's a port. It's basically where you think Lord where Triarch Taunt's being held.
The port that they said the ships would mainly go, the main fleet and everything went
into. No, the main fleet's going to be.
Sorry, it was in the other one. Sorry, it's where they
were taking slaves, right?
Yeah.
They were going to sort of kind of take the ship too. Yeah, so this is where they were going. So this is if I can get we want map again, and this is. Tell you about that city generator thing that's online. Such a lifesaver. Right, let's do that. This. Let me just check that, because I think I need to check against the map of Kibarath itself, because I have a feeling there might be a road. Oh right, no, because it's on a separate alcove. Yeah, it's not on this. Okay, so up here, we're all in one place. Kibarath. Okay. Let's check. Yeah, so basically this is on a separate this is on like a separate sort of outcrop of rock and stuff, sort of little position. It's it's not as sort of steep as the others, and there is a it's basically near a sort of kind of smaller port to the north, where they were going to land some of the so that's where the cultists were meant to come in, basically. Okay. And this is potentially where Triarch Taunt is being held, allegedly. So we got so we got that. Is there anything else I need to, when you map wise? There was meant to be a western side. In fact, did I? As I was messing around with the map today.
Is Taunt being held with Soldin's sister, or are they in two separate locations?
They're separate. They're in separate
locations.
Yeah. All right.
They're in separate locations. Right. Okay. So, how am I going to do this without sort of? I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to just take that off. Let me put on the Fog of War so I can. Actually, so to simplify this, right? So this is going to be a map of oh, is it? I'm going to show that to you now. Actually, what I'll do is I will just put on the Fog of War. I should maybe put on some music over here as well, just so you know. Where is my... Put that off for the time being. Right, okay, so let me find... Fog of War is on. Reveal areas. Ah, okay. Spare 1 minute. I'll move this up here. Right. So this is I'm going to double this as the southern or western, so they can be either or. They're going to just to make it southern plus or western. Right, let me just you see that, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Sort of. Yeah. So you've basically got a half sort of half finished sketch of a map that shows the outline of one of the sort of kind of coastal landing areas with where would it be? With the sort of like there's a what seems like potentially a mine entrance in the south, which would be, of course, dog. Of course. Now you want to bark. So you've got this sort of mine entrance down here. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. That's why I can't do it. So yeah, you've got a mine entrance to the south there. There's like little orange squiggle and stuff. So that is that's that. Just bear with me a moment. I let this dog out.
This is supposed to be the south landing, is it?
Western.
Western landing.
Yeah. And the orange mark is a mine.
Right. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, so you've got this old sort of kind of sketch. It comes from like sort of old sort of kind of prospectors and stuff. And they say that there are tunnels underneath of Kiberath itself. Some of them say that there's potentially great wealth underneath the city itself.
Right, do we know if there's any like dwarven mining companies in the city that we can talk to that might have gone over there to prospect it or something? I mean, because if it's been 100 years, these mines could likely be collapsed and whatnot.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Nobody's been to Gibrath in a long time.
In a long time, then. So that's
you're
it.
not
Like no one's just been there.
Nobody's been there. Sort of.
Apart
This
from Lady Tont, right?
yeah, who sort of went. So she's we can say if you want to go back to the hotel, and you can ask her some questions if you want.
I feel like that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think I could probably do with a rest anyway to get some spell slots back.
Okay. All right, so you make your way back. You bring Temple Smith with you. Did you have any... you've got one captive who's been taken off by the guards when you went back again. You got Temple Smith. Did you have anybody else alive from the last one?
Don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
I think we murdered them all.
Okay. So... Okay. Let me just put you on tape. I'll just stick us on this for now. Back in the city. Okay, so back in the city, you sort of go back to the hotel. Lady Taunt sort of greets you at the sort of the meeting area where she has her council of war, as it were, and asks you what you found out.
Is there a table in this room? Can I lay down the maps we've got?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Okay. So Valashul rolls up to the table and lays down the maps and points out, what was it, Fort Raylor?
Yeah. So you've got Fort. Fort Raylor. Yeah.
And that's where we believe her father's being held, right?
Yes, that's where she is. Where he is, apparently. Yeah.
So I inform her of that, and then I point out the city of Kibarath as a secondary target for Soldin's sister. And I ask her if she recognizes the layout of the maps and where she landed previously, if they're...
So she starts perusing. She starts looking at the maps. And she sort of kind of looks at sort of where the main port was, the main port map, and she calls over to Guard Captain Anders, who sort of walks over, and they have a bit of a discussion about the sort of Well, actually, Anders was with you. It wouldn't have been Anders because Anders was with you, wasn't he?
Yeah. He was my boy.
Yeah, so Anders was you. One of the other sort of she said she said she can't be sure because the captain of the fleet isn't here, but she's pretty sure they landed in the main port. As far as she was aware, the city was deserted. The dry docks seem to be in bad nick. There was sort of fortifications to the mouth of the... there was fortifications where they're shown on the map, but they were disused, and where they thought there was potentially a chain across the mouth of the port, it wasn't there. So she said there was nobody there. There was nobody there when they turned up. That's not to say that these might not have been sort of fixed or sort of temporarily fixed in their absence. But it's only been a month, I think, so they can't have done too much to it. She says, they were defensible areas, so they weren't destroyed. The area was defensible, but there was nobody there when they got there.
I wonder how many people they kind of funneled into that area in that a month or so since the Silkside battle. You wouldn't imagine they'd be too high. Unless they were away on a massive recruitment drive. But even then, you can't just get there, can you? You've got to go by ship.
As far as we know.
You got lots of I'll say so. Saravel says, all the missing children as well. This maybe they're using them for forced labor.
Oh God, not the kiddies.
I don't know how much they get done. It's not like they've got the strength of a man. It's what Valor.
Have you not seen Indiana Jones and the Temple?
Yeah.
No, I haven't actually.
Temple of Doom. You've
What?
never seen. You've never seen Temple of Doom.
What?
You've never seen Temple of
No.
Doom. Oh no.
Kalima Shakti Day.
But
What a film!
obviously,
I'll have to watch it.
roll me, Thomas. Roll me history.
Oh yes, I know everything.
Okay, so you obviously remember that there's potentially mind flayers in the area. You also remember from your learnings of them that they need hosts for their offspring, and that potentially the children are the hosts.
Oh no.
Right, that's kind of moved the time frame up a little bit, then, hasn't it? Because the longer we take, the more potential there is to sacrifice those children.
And people have been going missing for a while now. So when you're talking about you're talking about people who have, so obviously, Temple has told you that ships have been going missing, cargo's been going missing, obviously crews and stuff have been going missing. And you can maybe connect the dots.
Do we? So when a mind flayer possesses someone, do they inhabit the body, or do they kind of like grow out of the body?
No. They're using the bodies they plant the seed into the bodies to hatch their young out of them. Kind of like flies with maggots.
Yeah, you can. I think.
Do I know that?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, you can also be infected by like a mind flayer where it sort of takes over your brain and stuff like that. So that would be sort of maybe more the adults.
Okay.
And there is like a hive mind. They sort of do have this sort of kind of hive mind sort of thing going on, from what I understand.
Right.
Why do I get the feeling that there's going to be a big, bad, horrible thing in underground underneath the ruins of Kibarath?
Yeah. I'm thinking if they didn't see anything on the surface, then these mines that have been so kindly pointed out to us
and the tunnels.
Or it's just an easy way to get, or maybe it's an easy way for two elves to get into Kibarath. Who knows?
True. See, I was thinking, I don't know. My plan's a bit too daring. It involves suicide. This might not be something we come back from if we do it, but I don't know. They're expecting a shipment of slaves, right?
They have had shipments of slaves, but yeah, they were expecting. The rest of the cultists were going to come back, and they were to come back with whatever sort of, the children which Saravel and Tharaval sort of saved.
Are you suggesting we dress as cultists and take a bunch of children to Kibarath?
No, I'm thinking that we load a boat or two full of soldiers that are disarmed and whatnot, and then have Faraval and his brother disembark in a small boat to at least smuggle some weapons into the harbour, so we can arm ourselves once we're in a position to rebel from the inside. But I don't know, it's probably a bit too fanciful.
So you got sort of the things you need to sort of think about at this moment in time. So you've also got to think about the delegates, getting them back. You need help to do this because you're not going to have a lot of manpower. You need to figure out what's going on in the area, because at the minute you all maps and sort of kind of a bit of information sort of saying there was nobody here, it's defensible, but you don't know what's going on. You don't know how many ships they've got. what's going on around that area, how you're going to get into Kiberath itself, how you're going to sort of save how you're going to save Triarch Taunt, how you're going to save Salden's sister, whose name I can never remember, but it is
it begins with E.
It begins with an
Yeah.
E. And you know, there's lots of these little things you need to start kind of thinking. So you've got, you know, she's going to be sacrificed. He's being used as bait. Now, Lady Taunt, knowing that he's there, is scuffling around, trying to sort of kind of when you told her that he was there, she's got it now that she needs to save him, and that she needs to sort of kind of get there as soon as possible to save him. Now,
can I make it clear it's a possibility he's there to her, so she doesn't get her hopes up and doesn't do anything too rash?
Do you want to roll me a persuasion roll?
Okay.
You have advantage because I'm guessing all of you are trying to persuade her. Okay. Have you got any rerolls?
I think I have one inspiration point.
Have you got an inspiration point? Is anybody better at persuasion than
I'm not even that good.
I can intimidate her into accepting it.
You could use because obviously
can I use the fear of failure?
Galandra's there, so you can use hers. Galandra's with you, so you could use Galandra's.
I don't know if I can access her sheet.
I'll do it.
Oh, I can. No, there it is.
Yeah. So roll me on Galandra's then. Yeah, okay. So Galandra sort of kind of walks over to her and sort of kind of puts her hand on her shoulder and sort of looks into her eyes, you know, and says, "My lady, you know, he is potentially there, but we've got this information from a less than sort of reputable source. Of course, we need to make sure, you know, we need to check that he is there, but don't do anything rash." Because in the end, the greater good is all of Kiberath being destroyed, not just the safety of your father, which she understands. She sort of accepts that she's just been a bit emotional and yeah.
But in the meantime, could you talk to the other Triarchs and find out what kind of forces we could amass should the time come to storm the fort or any location where we find where your father is?
Yeah. So she says manpower is with her father gone and him being the arch Triarch. Command it technically goes to her, but because she's just a girl and she's not seasoned, the other Triarchs may not sort of be as willing to help as, you know, they have their own areas to sort of kind of protect effectively, their own little sort of kind of fiefdoms, as it were. But she'll try to sort of see what she can get from them.
At the moment, even a small army is more than we have right now.
She understands that she just has to persuade them that, you know, it's their land as well, and they need to protect it. And their father, who's helped sort of protect this land for many years, so she'll try.
Who was it I sent from our fort to go and recruit some more convicts from the other cities?
Oh, you have, haven't you? So you sent letters from the main cities for prisoners. Sir Tristan's gone off for able-bodied. Now, that would have been about a week ago, possibly, I think, from what you've done. So, let's say... I'll think about that, actually. Okay. But yeah, that is something to bear in mind, because I forgot about that, yeah. Okay, yeah. So you've got that, yeah. So yeah, so there's a few things you need to figure out. When sort of kind of trying to deal with this situation, it's not going to be super straightforward. Yeah. When you're sort of sitting here with these maps, when you're all talking about these maps, the mage who you were talking to, who you bought all the stuff from, sort of kind of wanders into this sort of kind of into the bar area, and my friends, you're welcome. I can't even remember what accent I gave him, but my friends, okay, just here. I'm just here for a drink. It's good to see you. I have got lots of gold to spend now. Would you like a drink?
I don't feel like this is a coincidence. Valashul nods his head and orders the most expensive drink on the menu.
Oh, man of fine taste. Okay, so he sort of kind of waves to the bartender. Lady Taunt sort of gives him a bit of an evil eye because he's just walked in and started sort of, talking, but is more interested in sort of kind of the maps and what's going on, so ignores him.
Tharavel joins as well, but just has a small whiskey.
He says, I've been meaning to see. Have you thought any more about going to Dry Harbor to see if my colleague is there? It's very important. There's lots of nice things there, especially you, my mage friend. You lots of fancy things. All you need to do is get me those. Was it runes he was looking for? Guess that's what he wanted. Eridor has runic tools. Yeah. To make a trinket. Yes, I can make that trinket for you. You just need to find Edrador. Why did I give him such a stupid name? Edraldor. And it's just I'll make it worth your while.
Where was Dry Harbor?
West coast of
across the water
of Kibarath.
Oh, okay.
Not Kibarath, of Cragmere.
Do you know when we went over to Pure Harbour and then we headed south? If you head west from Pure Harbour, you'll end up in Dry Harbour.
Oh, I'm opening so many maps right now.
Here you go.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got.
Yes, I see it. Ruins of Dry Harbor
On the western side.
Well, I mean, I have been advised by Bahamut to speak to the other nations and gain allies, so it wouldn't be too. It'd be a good idea to at least go and investigate these areas and see if we can get any men over there.
What's the scale on this map? How long would it take us to get from Pure Harbour to Dry Harbour?
So it's going to take you half a day to get to Pure Harbour. It's like 5 miles per hex, effectively. You're coming from Taunt. 5, 10.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't know. Ships. 5. We'll say half. We'll say. I don't know. Good tide, 6 hours. 6 hours to get to sort of the Pure Harbour. Then you're looking. You're looking. It's 25 miles a day or something like 5, 10, 15, 20. You're looking 3 or 4 days. Say 4 days to get to 4 days to get to Dry Harbor.
And then 4 days back.
That's another
if we hired horses on the other end, or transport, could we?
Yeah, you could probably get.
You
could probably get there in 2 days if you got some. You purchased some horses or some transport from Pure Harbor. You could potentially get
around about a week round trip then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking about a week.
And what was it he wanted us to do? Rescue his friend from Dry Harbor?
Well, he's lost contact with his friend over there.
Okay.
And he wanted us to go and make sure that everything was okay. He hinted that there was
runic tools,
some trinkets and some useful stuff that we could make use of, and he wanted the runic tools to be able to make the item that I'd asked him for.
Also, the flamethrower is potentially at Dry Harbor as well. Remember?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Ships.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they call it. The Byzantines used to call it. The Byzantines used to call it something else, but I can't remember what they. Let's type it. The
Greek fire.
Yeah, Byzantine. Flame thrower begins with a C, I think. Because they had it on ships. I can't remember what they called it. Yeah, I can't think of the name. We're just going to call it flamethrower for now because I can't think of it.
Yeah,
think of the name.
that'll do for now.
Yeah, so
we know what you mean.
Yeah, so
actually could be worth our while if we can track this down then.
So you can also get, there's also the fact that says if you go there, you can maybe get some of the delegates across that way.
And there might be more sailors at Pure Harbour that we could get too, if we need people for boats.
Yeah, potentially.
Is it worth, while you are doing this, splitting the group a bit? Serval and Tharval doing a bit of a recon mission to Kibarath itself.
If you can do it safely, or I know nothing's safe, but if you can do it with a degree of confidence, I think that could work in our favour.
You just use a rowboat, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be a matter of going to one of the quieter ports.
Yeah.
Possibly the southern one, and maybe gaining access to the caves at night time, trying to stay in the dark as much as possible, as they mostly come out at night. Mostly.
I think that's a good idea.
And again, there's no plans to engage or anything. This is it's a strictly recon mission.
Yeah.
Having seen your stealthy skills in action, I have every confidence that you can pull this one.
Famous last words.
How could you?
I was wait, hold on. Was that? I took that as sarcasm.
No, quite the opposite. Quite the opposite.
Okay, so who's going with who? Who's doing what then?
So I think Serval and Tharval are going south to Kibarath.
And
Valashul will go to Dry Harbour.
So
Guess me and Clanky are going over the west.
Thomas, Valashul and Thomas are going to Dry Harbour. Do you want to bring anybody else with you?
Who are we allowed to bring?
I vote we bring Lance.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. If we're allowed to bring, yeah.
In his capacity as bodyguard and his
additional muscle. There we go.
His additional muscle and his past history of looking after Thomas quite well, I think we bring Lance.
Okay. Now, what do you think Draken would do? Where would he want to go?
I feel like he'd want to go on the recon mission almost.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
He'd be like, I can be stealthy.
I hit it with my axe. Okay.
I guess Galandra could come with us then as well, unless you think you'll need a healer in Kibarath.
I think it makes sense for the healer to go where the barbarian goes.
Okay.
Like do they stay?
They could stay back, and like if anything happens, they're there as like a.
Yeah, so they'll stay.
The whole point of doing a stealth mission is to be stealthy.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of Draken going to.
It's not even. Well, it's Draken, and plus the fact if Galandra's going and she's got like full plate armor or whatever on, that's going to be a bit clinky noisy.
Oh yeah, true. Is Lance stealthy?
He's all right. Actually,
he's got no armor. I mean, he is a ranger, so he's got stealth as a skill, but it's nowhere near as yeah. By the way, Mark said that Lance is happy to come with us.
Okay, that's good.
Cool. All right, so you three are off to
Pure Harbour.
Pure Harbour. Serval and Tharval are going to do a recce of Kibarath. And the other two are basically going to stay behind.
I think they should. I don't think as much as Draken would love to go on the recon mission, he's not the one to go.
Is there anything they could do in Taunt while we're doing this though?
They could. Well, yeah, it's up to you. What do you think they can do?
I don't know. Just asking for suggestions. Because I don't feel like just like sidebarring them kind of thing.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
They could be doing something.
Well, they can we can say they're doing something, and then when they're on next week, they can say what they were, or they can decide during the week what they were doing, and then we can we can tie that into it and stuff. Okay. So,
cool.
Yeah. Okay. So, right. So, Tharval and Serval. So, what's the plan? What are you doing to get to Kibarath? How are you going about it? Are you what's the plan?
So we will need a small and fast and nimble ship. Probably we'd basically need to be going under the cover of darkness. We'd need a crew to actually man the ship.
I'm pretty sure. How big do you want the ship to be?
As small as possible but
I'll give you a right. So this is, if I can find them. Where are we?
Unless there's, I can't think of any other ways that we can get to the island.
These are all the types of ships in the world, from big to small. Obviously, the current one you have is a merchant vessel, which is probably along the lines. Well, it's probably as big as a CR4. One of the CR4 6th-rate ships, but it obviously isn't.
Don't know what the CR4 is.
It's all right. Sorry, yeah. So it's the if you go to, let's see, it'll be
I was kind of looking at one of the sort of catamaran type things because it'd be quite nimble and quite fast, I would expect.
Okay.
And then not overly huge.
Yeah, so you just want like one of the sort of kind of. Well, let me see.
We're not looking for a full ship or anything like that. It doesn't need it. We don't need space to carry, extra, goods or passengers and anything like that. It's basically a means to get us there quickly and undetected.
You almost want something that could be mistaken for like a tourist vessel or something if it's spotted. Something that's not going to appear too threatening.
Like that one?
Or just like a fisher boat, maybe. Yeah, I'd imagine something like that one.
I was either thinking that one or the wee catamaran next to it, something like that. But again, just something. Again, it's going to be a bit faster. That if a bit more nimble. If we do get spotted, we can make a swift exit as well.
Okay. Right, that's fine. So you can Temple Smith says, that's fine. He can provide you with a small ship at the docks. There's lots of sort of pleasure ships that are in dock currently with all the piracy and stuff going on. There's many in the harbor, so you can take your pick.
And possibly a person to drive it.
He says he'll come with you. He says he'll come with you.
Okay, very well. And he knows the waters and things like that.
Yeah, he says I know the waters well, and I'll come with you, and make up for my mistakes.
Yeah, so we'll select basically a fast sort of small ship from the harbor. How basically we'd be looking to set off. So we are approaching the island at nighttime. We can make our way around the island at nighttime and potentially still arrive on the island at nighttime.
Okay, so let me just get okay, so where is you're gonna go from Taunt. I'm assuming you're making yourself around the western side of the island.
Yeah.
Down. And whereabouts are you looking the land?
So I think we were going to land at the south port that we'd seen on the map.
Okay, so you're going to.
Sorry, there was the south one, or there was the. Well, yeah, the south one. I think the south one had a bit more on it, whereas the one in the northwest, we just sort of had wee scribblings, and it wasn't a complete map. So we'd rather go with maybe dated and
this one
a bit more complete. It gives us options at least because we know there's a couple of pathways. There's plenty of trees.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna go there, and you're gonna sort of land at that. It's gonna take you. See, I don't know if you're going to be able to do that in a night. It's going to take you. How fast do ships? I'm seeing the ship. Looking for. Well, let's just say, right, so it's like you can do about 22 miles in a day on foot, half that if you're on a horse, quarter that if you're on a ship, maybe on a fast ship with good wind. So basically you can do 4 times so you could do 88 in a day. 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, we'll say. Well, no, it's going to take you slightly longer, but we could say if you go in the evening, you'll turn up the next evening.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's the idea. Basically, leave so we're sort of arriving at that time. If we can, sort of keep a wide perimeter going around the island, sort of keep the distance off, but.
Right. Okay. And you're landing in the southern port. or the southern landing, even. Okay. As for you guys going over to Pure Harbor, it'd take you half a day. It'd take you 5, 10,
6 hours. You said.
Yeah, 6 hours to get to Pure Harbor, and then it'll take you a couple of days to get to Dry Harbor itself.
Mm-hmm.
So ship-wise, I'm not gonna ambush you or anything like that. I think I'm going to overly complicate things and stuff. So I'll just say, you can get your ship and get across there safe enough. Are you bringing any delegates and stuff with you?
Maybe the ones who are going that way.
Yeah. Or ones who can get an onward journey from there, heading sort of north and away from Kibarath, who would be safe enough away from the cultists.
Okay, so you've got that area. Berthelmana is. Let me just give the region map. So you've got delegates from Cragmere, Kyrelia, even sort of Os, Somus, Al-Zaharak. Well, a lot of them could make their way in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, if we got people over to Cragmere,
it's just
I know it's a longer journey, but if they went by land,
so the way it is, if you want to get help, you could, in theory, put most of them across in Cragmere and just say walk, but then obviously you're not going to get as much help. The risk, it's the risk reward sort of thing. So you can give them a more direct route to try and get more help, or you can play it safe and sort of stick them all on a boat and just go, right, we're going to Cragmere, just make your way back from there.
I think just taking the ones that are in the vicinity is probably a better idea.
Yeah, the ones from sort of Vimbor, in the east and the southeast, we work on a plan to get them across the other way once we've dealt with Kibarath.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you kind of need their help to sort of potentially. That's the thing, to deal with Kibarath.
Yeah, but getting help from half of them is better than getting help from none of them.
Okay. So, all right, okay, no problem. So you're getting the ones from Cragmere, Kyrelia,
and Os.
Sonus, Os, Citrar,
Corman.
Whatever
that is at the top.
Cornum, yeah, the sort of.
How do we know the relations that they have with one another? Like, are there any
the Os are quite they're like Vikings and stuff, so
I remember one of them was involved in killing the Carillion ambassador. So.
Yeah, so they're not overly happy about being in the same. There'll potentially be issues of them being in the same sort of space. Kyrelia and Cragmere, kind of get on. The dwarves sort of are dwarves. They get on with each other to a point. Sonus, Citrar, and Al-Zaharak are sort of more mercantile. So they're sort of kind of happy enough to do whatever as long as they,
they get back.
Yeah, they get back.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'll do then is we'll do you guys first. So firstly, roll me a... Do you want to do anything? All right, so I'll make it slightly harder for you. Do you want to do anything to try and what's the word? To try and deflect from your passage across the sea? Are you going to diversion or anything? Or are you just going to bomb it across?
Any ideas, Thomas?
I would think my dog's barking around in a moment.
Can't think of anything to distract. Sort of out at sea.
Yeah.
Anyone who's watching from afar with a telescope, that would be too far for us to see them anyway. So, I reckon just get across as quickly as we can. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we'll serve as a distraction for a Faraval to get across.
Well, maybe. Yeah.
So,
or vice versa.
We're just gonna blow on the sails to make it go a bit faster.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just gonna risk it.
Okay, so roll me a... Right, so it's going to take you 6 hours. Roll me 60-20. Any crits, any critical fails, something bad happens. So,
All right, I'll roll 3, you roll 3, Wes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Any ones and something happens, basically.
Oh shit.
I didn't get a 1.
no, but I got a 20, which cancels out the 1.
Right, okay. You did get a 20, so you got to quit. Okay, so who have you got in the boat with you? Who have you got with you?
So it's the 3 of us, and we've got the delegates from Cragmere, from Os, from Cornum, and did we bring them on from Sonus as well, and Carillia?
I think so. Yeah. I think
so you've got so
Cragmere, Carillia,
and Bournley.
So make sure you should write some notes down. Just some Thomas, Thomas, Lance, and Val with delegates from Irelia, Cragmere, Sonus, Os, Citrar, and Al-Zaharak.
Did we bring them? Because they've got quite a long way to go. I thought we.
But if they're pally with the Kyrillians, they could all go together, I suppose.
Well, the Kyrillians aren't overly pally with them and stuff. They're considering they sort of.
I guess they stay behind for now then.
Yeah. Do we take Bournlow and Cornum then?
Bournlow and Cornum. With Os, Sonus, Cragmere, and Carillia.
Bournlow. Okay. Right, so Thomas Lance Val, delegates from Kyrelia, Cragmere, Sonus, Os, Bournlow, and Cornum are there. That one is going to get you a no, fuck it. No, I'm not going to overcomplicate it. I'll let you. The 20, you'll cancel out the 1. I'll let you have the script.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to sort of. Because I could sort of. No, I'm not going to bother. All right, okay. If there had been more 1s, I might have, but there's the 1 on the 20. I'll throw you a freaking bone. Okay, so you managed to sort of kind of make your way to the. To Dry Harbor, not to Dry Harbor, to Pure Harbor. You you make your way to Pure Harbor, and bar a sort of very tense moment where you spotted what you thought was some tentacles in the water, and you thought maybe there was another potential kraken, you managed to make your way there unhindered and unmolested. All the sort of delegates sort of get off the. You sort of mentioned to the dwarves that they can carry on with the ship to their sort of lands up north if they wish, but they say they've had enough of seafaring and will make it on foot. They thank you for getting them there safely, and they say that they will report back to their kings to try and provide support for as much support as they can.
And are these from Burnlow and Karum? Yeah.
Yes.
Carnum.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They'll provide. They're going to try and get you. So obviously they. Oh, actually, no. We'll give this right. So, Lady Taunt was trying to get men for the front, but obviously you also need help for Balon itself. So, I'll let you weight how much support you give each theater, basically. So. You can have there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Where are they going to send their forces effectively? Where are they going to prioritize their forces? You can say
are we thinking in the grander scheme of the whole map, or just in just in what we're doing with Kibarath?
Well, it's up to you. So basically, all these places will have finite forces as well and stuff. So you've got to say to them, are you just going to sort of thank you? Can you get bring men to the front, or are you going to say to them, saying, look, Kibarath is a potential threat to all of us. That needs to be dealt with first.
Yeah. I feel like Balon's a good rally point anyway for forces in the vicinity.
Yeah.
And then if we need to, we can push stealth.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe we can have them all assemble in Taunt.
Yeah, okay, cool. So you just say to a staging point in Balon. So you just say to them, you're basically saying to them to get as many forces as you can to... The thing you got... Are you saying to them that... Because obviously the waters aren't safe around the area and stuff. So... Are you going to ask them for? Are you going to ask them for help to deal with Kibarath, or are you going to?
Well, I feel like.
Are you going to say once Kibarath's dealt with, sort of give them a timeline?
Can I say once we have more information on Kibarath, can we send you further information, because we've got.
Sort of give them a heads up that Kibarath is happening, and maybe put them on standby.
Yeah.
But should we manage to deal with it, then
once Faravol and his brother are back from their scouting mission, we should have a clearer image of what we're going to be dealing with and how many we'll actually need.
Okay. The issue you're going to have is there is dragon towers in these areas, but your dragon tower
is
currently down.
For now.
Maybe we could find someone who operates. Is there a mages guild that operate these things? How is it? Someone's appointed.
Yeah, there's sort of but you've got potential sort of kind of mage seers who'll sort of he'll help that. So yeah, that is a possibility. So
that damn drogophone not working.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you're basically saying to them to get help and wait for your signal, effectively?
Yeah, wait for further instructions at that point.
Yeah, give them the rundown of what is currently happening and what the plans are, and just get them to Tontus or to Balon as soon as.
Okay, make note of that, just remember. Make ready. forces, and await signal. Await signal from Dragon Towers. Okay. Cool. All right. So they all sort of say their thank yous, and then sort of take their way off to the sort of kind of respective areas. Now, I'll sort of kind of fast forward you through. So you sort of kind of get in transport, sort of horse and cart that you've got that's going to take you over to the ruins of Dry Harbor. You go pretty much unmolested. You see some wild beasties and things and some potential bandits and stuff, but no there's no sort of major sort of issues as you get there. You pull up to a sort of kind of way station just to the north of where Dry Harbor is situated, and you purchase a map of Dry Harbor itself. And he gives you this map. The chap sort of gives you this map. He says it's a map showing sort of the city in all its splendor and all its sort of in its glory, and he sort of asks for a few copper for it.
Okay. I'll hand him 5 coppers.
Okay, so he gives you the map, and he says, yeah, if you've got anything else you want to ask him or anything, then...
Is it actually... Do we know it's ruins, yeah?
You've been told it's ruins. The map doesn't seem to imply that, though.
So how old is this map?
He says, "Oh well, I just got back. And you're basically you're effectively say that little sort of house in the northwest there. You're sort of there, and that's sort of like a little way station just before you hit the city. So you're not that far away. And he says, "Oh, I've just come back. These are up to date maps."
What was your business in the city?
Oh, I'm just a trader. I was just getting supplies from the port.
And what do you trade in?
I'm a general goods store, so whatever you need: apples, oranges, maps, tools, rope, whatever you need, I can provide it for you.
And how is your knowledge of the arcane and items of that ilk?
Oh, I don't know anything about that. Can't say I know much about any of that magical stuff. I'm just a shopkeeper.
Okay. Can Valishore search his wares to see if there's anything suspicious amongst them, like if he's a grave robber or he's like a looter?
So what are you're trying to search his
search his belongings, as in like what he's trying to sell, to see if it looks like it could be, I don't know, off of someone's corpse or
Belched,
whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Should I roll investigation?
Yes, you can roll investigation. Yeah.
With advantage, as I'm there.
I hope it works. No, it didn't.
You sort of kind of have a look around, and you there's clothes and foodstuffs and plates and just random things that you would see. You don't I
don't suspect it's.
You don't suspect anything. You don't really see anything of note.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I say to him, someone told me it was a ruin. Are these rumors true, or is this a lie? Like, I don't know. Yeah.
He says to you, it's just like, ruins. Dry Harbor is one of the greatest cities in Cragmere. Plenty of trade coming through there. That's no ruin. It's a beautiful city.
How far in terms of distance? How far are we from the outskirts of the town or the city?
You're about a mile away.
So, what can we see if we look towards the town? Does it look?
You are sort of you're sort of in a low valley, so you can't really currently see much. He says if you go on the top of the hill there, you see it in all its glory.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck with your sales, and have a pleasant day.
Any other questions for him, or?
I don't have anything to ask.
No, I think we just thank him for his time and let him on.
I'll give him a couple copper for his time. Yeah.
Okay. And he says, "Nice doing business with you. See you later." And sort of bids you adieu. So you.
Let's head to the top of the hill then, so that we can survey the city from.
We're going like this way.
Yeah. So you make the way to the sort of kind of top of the hill, and in front of you, you see a city that seems to be sort of like any normal city. There's it doesn't look any sort of more derelict than any of the other cities you've been to. There's obviously little shanty towns and stuff around, but it seems from your vantage point there doesn't seem to be anything of any major note. You can roll me a perception, both of yous.
Ooh. I'll go Wes.
Okay, interesting. So Thomas, it just looks like a city to you. It doesn't seem to be anything odd. Val, you sort of look, and initially you see a when you look at the hill, you see ruins. But when you turn to Thomas to say that, and he says, "No, it's just a city. There's no ruins there." You look back, and it's just a city.
See, I was already suspicious.
Yeah.
All right. Valashul says to Thomas, "Let's be careful as we approach. I feel there is trickery afoot."
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Can we go into the city from the hill? Like, is there a path that way?
Yeah, you can go south. There's a southern road. You can go into the city itself. Yeah.
Right. So as we approach the city, then can Thomas sort of reach out with his arcane senses and see if he can sense any sort of illusions that are around?
You can give me an Arcana check if you want. No, nothing. You can't think of anything. I think Michael knows what's happening, by the way.
I've not been paying attention, to be honest. I don't have a clue what's going on. But I've caught sort of bits and pieces. So what exactly happened again? Val saw something, but
didn't see something, and then you look back, it wasn't there. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know what it is.
Have we found Brigadoon?
Okay, so you can't, you don't feel, there's no arcane magic or anything sort of seeming to be in this area that you can feel.
Are there people around?
Yeah, there seems to be people as you're sort of just doing their own thing, doing their sort of. It's a big city, so they're just doing their thing.
feel like it's a bit of a scapegoat, but can I use divine sense?
You can use divine sense, yeah.
Do I anything evil in the area?
Let me have a 6. You do feel something.
Okay.
In the area. You don't, but it feels like it's everywhere. You don't. You've got that. You sort of. But the thing is, you've got this sort of smell going on where it's like it's sort of conflicting. It's like a conflicting sort of sense. So you've got this sort of like this quite sort of nice floral sort of pastoral sort of kind of thing going on, which, you know, it's odd, but bearing in mind it's quite a sort of a big city, and you know your experience of these places is they generally smell pretty foul. But you know you also have this sort of like sickening smell that sort of kind of seems me mingling in with it, which is obviously your divine sense. So you know something's odd, something's not right.
So it's just this. Okay. So I guess the only thing is, do we know the name of the person we're looking for again?
Yeah, Edraldor.
Eldrador, yeah.
Did we find out like what his last known position was, or you know where he was meant to be?
That he'd set up a shop in town.
Okay.
That's all we know.
Valishul approaches one of the locals and asks where Edraldor's store is.
Sort of the sort of kind of local sort of kind of looks at you, looks you up and down, and you're sort of and says, "Oh, Eldrador. Can't say I know an Eldrador. What sort of shop does he own?"
I turn to Thomas and await him answering.
So I believe he would be set up in what passes for the magic district of this town.
Ooh, that'll be down Night Lane probably. That's where all the magic users and stuff hang around.
Sounds like that's where we go then.
Yep. Could you direct us? Oh, well, we've got a map. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, we've got a map.
You've got a map.
Yeah.
You've got a map. So you sort of walk down the streets, and give me a perception check, both of yous.
What is with my perception? Suddenly I can see things.
And I can see fuck all.
You perceive when you're walking down the street, you see a person sort of coming out of their house and looking really confused, and just, you know, just completely baffled, like, you know, just like they don't know what the hell's going on. And he's sort of kind of standing outside his house, sort of scratching his head, and just generally, you know, being completely flummoxed by everything.
Can Valishul stop and like lay a hand on the man's shoulder and ask if he's feeling okay?
He's like, yeah, just odd. Yeah, I just seems that I woke up and there's like a load of like clothing and stuff that isn't mine in my house. I don't know where it's come from. And I don't think I was that drunk last night.
what sort of clothing is it? Is there anything peculiar about it, or is it just not yours?
Well, it's women's clothes. Can't say I've had any women back here for a while. God, I don't think I've had any women back here at all. Yeah, I don't. And he sort of kind of like sits down. He's like, "Was I drunk last night?" And I was at the Griffin's Head, but I don't remember being too drunk. Oh, he just says, "Oh, maybe I was. I'm sorry for bothering you. Yeah.
No bother. Does the Griffin's Head happen to be in Night Lane?
The Griffin's Head, and he sort of points you to. I need to be on myself. The Griffin's Head is in. So you've basically sort of kind of made your way down here. The Griffin's Head is sort of there.
Okay, so it's on the way.
Yeah.
Should we
That's what
stop
we need to-
inside and?
I think we should at least stop outside and have a look,
Okay.
and then see if it's worth going inside.
Yeah, I'm fine to do that.
Okay, so you sort of kind of walk further down, and you come to a pub called the Griffin's Head. You're how long it took you? 6 hours. So you're like, what time are we saying it's going to be? Early evening now. You've turned up early evening, sort of 5-6 o'clock in the evening. It seems to be relatively busy. Nothing sort of
Peculiar.
too peculiar. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, reach out with my arcane senses and see if I can feel anything coming from the pub or anywhere around the area.
Okay, roll me Arcana. Nope, you can't feel anything.
Okay. Nod to Valashul and walk through the door.
Okay. I follow him in, and I say to Thomas, just don't drink anything. If anything seems too good to be true, it probably is. Let's just not take anything from anyone. A bit of paranoia setting in.
Okay, so you go into the pub. Are you all right there, Michael? By the way, are you sort of?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah. I'll move on to your bit shortly.
No, you don't. You stick with this. It's fine. I don't mind.
So you walk into the pub. It's quite busy. You sort of kind of. Are you sitting down? There's basically, it's a pub. There's people on seats. There's people at the bar. There's sort of serving wenches, bar staff.
Yeah, I mean, if there's an empty table, I'd suggest we sit down and at least have a light bite or something to keep us going after our journey.
Okay.
Valashul doesn't want food. He shakes his head at Thomas.
I'm not suggesting we eat anything, but at least we sit down and
order.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can
see what turns up.
You can sort of get rid of like poisons and things like that, can't you?
Yeah, but what if it's magic? What if it's magic poison?
Okay, so
Oh dear.
you sit down and you ask for the menu, and a sort of young lady comes over, sort of introduces herself, says she's the landlady, and her husband run this bar, and she sort of kind of looks at you and sort of says, "Oh, I'm sure I recognize you from somewhere. Are you? Do I know you from anywhere?"
Who's she looking at?
Both of yous. Or all of yous. All
three of us.
Yeah, all of yous.
Yeah. I've just got one of those faces.
See, I'm not sure I do, being a half elf. There aren't many of us around.
I mean, I'm an ASMR, so...
and there's certainly none of these two around.
No. And she's just like, oh, maybe I'm wrong. I'll ask my husband. But yes, just make yourself at home. Let me know if you want any food. And
do we recognize them?
You can roll me a what's a good? Would it be a history check? No, you don't recognize them.
Okay.
You don't recognize them.
Fair enough.
So just she sort of kind of gives you the menus and sort of wanders off to do her thing, and starts talking to the guy at the bar.
No, mate. I just keep my eye on who she's talking to. Does she seem uneasy, or like maybe, or is it just like a casual conversation? I don't know. I'm looking out for danger. I don't know. I feel like maybe it's not meant to be dangerous. Oh, I'm so confused right now.
I'll do this. Where I have my other notebook. Where it is.
There's so much meta I want to say right now, and I just can't. because I've been through this before, and I know how long it took us to figure it
out. So the sort of the land. Before I say this, what's it gonna be? It's gonna be the. I need a. Bear with me 1 minute. I need to think of something here quickly. Bear with me 1 minute. Everything 1 minute. Right, so there is. Why I need the. Oh, I'm not going to use that. It's going to be the. Oh, what is it going to be? Oh, no, because I need.
What is it you're looking for? Like a.
So basically, do you remember that when I did it with you, there was like a name for the group with a number in it?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just trying to think, because I haven't got my notebook for it, and
Oh, if I can't even remember.
Okay, we're going to call it the a word that kind of is like, it means, give me something that sort of sounds like great but begins with an S.
Supreme.
The Supreme, yeah. Okay. Yeah, all right. Okay, we'll go for that. Is Dave Barry? Is Dave, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Okay, so
Significant, special.
Yeah, we'll say Supreme for now. Just sort of, I may change it later. But so he sort of comes over and he sort of kind of he says like, drink Drinks are on the house. Drinks are on the house. It's not often that we get. It's not often that we get. How many of us are there? There's
3 of us.
There's the 3. Yeah.
6 of us.
Yeah.
Oh, it's three here. Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's not often we get members of the Supreme Seven in these parts.
The Supreme Seven.
The Supreme Seven.
The fact that was Valashal asking.
Michael's face.
Supreme Seven.
This is bringing back so many memories. This is actually going to drive you up the wall. It's really interesting, but it will drive you up the wall.
I've also changed it slightly just in case. Okay, so so he says it's not often that we get the some members of the Supreme Seven in these parts. You're a long way from Balon. What brings you here?
You seem to know a lot about us, sir. How has word travelled this far?
He says, well, you're the heroes of Falcross Bridge, of the Battle of Silkside. You helped destroy the den of vampires in what was it, Pineacre? Was it Pineacre?
Pineacre, yeah.
Yeah, in Pineacre. All of these things. There's a local bard. He's been singing of it. For months or weeks. Sorry, we'll say weeks. We'll say weeks. He says, yeah, he's sort of in the entertainment room.
Can you escort us to it?
I think we pay this bard a visit.
So he says, oh yes, yeah, okay, of course. So he says it's just through this door over here, and he sort of kind of pushes you towards an entertainment room where there's a lot of people sort of in a room listening to a bard play some music. And he sort of seems to be sort of kind of encapsulating them. You hear a song that sort of insert toss a coin to your Witcher, but insert something about you guys being played as he's saying. He then sort of kind of he then stops and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have honored guests with us. Members of the Supreme Seven are here." And he sort of kind of jumps down, starts playing his lute, and sort of kind of dancing around.
I mean, Valashaw's just as bewildered as I am.
Mm-hmm.
He's not sure what to do.
I was going to do it with all of you, but the thing is, Mark and Michael and Pete have done this before.
And Danny's done it as well.
Danny's done it, so it's sort of like it had to be used to. So
These are in for a treat. To be fair, me and Danny didn't actually never got the chance to finish it, but we did have a rogue dwarf.
Yes, you did.
And to be fair, Danny and Tom were getting drunk all the time, so there was more bickering between them than actually playing the game.
Alright, Valashal plays along and like throws his arm around the bard and like uses the disguise of merriment to escort him towards a corner or a table so that he can ask some questions.
Yep. So he sort of he says, he finishes his song and sort of kind of walks over to the bar with you, and says, starts shaking your hand. Oh, it's my pleasure. Dandelion's the name. Dandelion's the name. I'm the bard. I'm the well-known bard. You would have heard of me, no doubt. I've filled stadia in many of the cities of Freya, Taunt included.
I can't say I've heard of you, but then again, we probably don't share the same circle.
He looks slightly put out by the fact that you don't know who he is. But
how have you heard our stories? What we've done?
He says, "Well, it so happened that I was in Balon during the battle of Silkside. I heard of your bravery and of the seven of you, and how you sort of defeated the cultists, and the Battle of Falcross, and the fall of Soldan Solitaire. I've got an amazing tune, the Lay of the Faldum, the fall of Soldan Solitaire. It's a tearjerker, and starts going on about his sort of his tunes and stuff.
Who's got the best insight to see if we can figure out if he's being truthful and entirely honest with us?
Well, I can cast Zone of Truth.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Can you do that subtly without him spotting, without him noticing?
No, because it forms a bubble. I could just say, oh, well, I could try and deceive him and say it's a different sort of spell. But then, I don't know. Also kind of want to slap him. Oh dear.
Thou mock me?
Dost thou mock me?
It's just more the sense of it. It's about their achievements rather than. I mean, the Battle of Silkside, like dozens died. Oh, I don't know. It feels like it takes the achievement away from the
men
people
who
gave their lives. Yeah, and I feel like that would resonate with Val.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, you're more than welcome to sort of tell
Can I give him a cheeky backhand?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, if you want to. Yeah. Are you going to say anything, or are you just going to sort of passively aggressively sort of knock into him, or?
No, it's going to be quite blatant. I guess Val says something similar to
what you just
said.
I
just mentioned. Yeah.
And then you hit him.
Yeah.
He sort of reels slightly from the attack, and the bar sort of suddenly goes very quiet. As he sort of wipes sort of a bit of blood from his face. He says, no, I meant no insult. I meant no insult to the brave men and women who fought alongside you, but it was the seven of you who saved Balon. I'm sorry. I'm it's a poetic license.
Do you want to say anything, Thomas, or should I continue?
You continue, but just have. I think at this point Lance will be looming over and being quite
intimidating.
Yeah,
I was gonna just roll a bit of intimidation. So, Valashul grabs him by the collar and holds him in place, and turns to the rest of the bar and says, "Now that I've got everyone's attention, I'm looking for insert person's name that I keep forgetting.
Edrildor.
Edrildor. And his store. What do you know about this?"
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So, he says, oh yeah, he runs a store in Night Lane. It's the Magic District. You can find him, and he says, do you have a map?
Yes, I do.
Yes, he shows you the map, and then he sort of kind of points to sort of there, basically.
All right. can I tell him he's going to volunteer and come along with us?
He says he won't be open now. It's late. There'll be the whole area will be closed. It's quite late. You're not going to find anybody there.
There might be some deeds that you can sing about if you do accompany us, and you'll get to experience it firsthand. I feel like he's got more to say, and I kind of just want to get him outside the bar. I don't know.
Okay. So you. Yeah. Okay. So you're leaving then. So you're just taking him and coming out of the bar.
Yeah. I mean, like, unless there's more you want to investigate, anyone? Or Dave?
No. I mean, I've done my arcane check, and it seems to check out as a proper bar. It's not. There's nothing magical around here that I can sense.
And like, I feel like Valishul's just getting a bit more paranoid. Like, he's seen a few things, and it's making him think that obviously something else is going on here, and he doesn't really know who to trust. So if he pulls the bard along with him, who seems to know stuff about them, maybe they'll find out more information along the way. That makes sense.
Okay.
So yeah. I guess we're going to Night Lane.
Okay, so you start. You walk off towards sort of Night Lane. It's getting dark. People are sort of kind of shutting up their shops and sort of kind of going indoors. You can give me another perception check, both of you.
Oh, I see things.
Yeah, you don't. There's nothing of any sort of major note as you're sort of making your way through the city. Yeah, still nothing of any sort of major sort of note. You start walking to Night Lane, where all the sort of kind of magic quarter is. Like the bard said, like Dandelion said, there's not a lot sort of open. It all seems to be pretty closed up.
Is there anywhere that looks like it even might be open?
Lance mentions that there's a very sweet smell in the air. He also mentions that he also sort of kind of mentions that he was sure it's like something went quiet. He says like it's like something just suddenly, like it wasn't noisy, but he felt like something went quiet, and then it's not. But the thing is, you don't understand what he's saying because it's already pretty quiet, so you're not sure what he means. He says it just felt like, he says, not only do I sort of have this sort of kind of very sort of sweet smell, but it was like suddenly everything went like quiet, and he's finding it hard to explain. It's like because it was already quite quiet, but suddenly he felt like it went quiet.
It went silent,
It went silent.
Oh, I don't know.
Walk up to the nearest building.
Okay.
And examine it with my eyes, and then run my hands across it to see if what it feels like corresponds to what it looks like.
Okay. Roll me an investigation. Okay, and roll me a perception.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I was doing so well.
As far as you know, you look at this house, and it looks like, well, it's a shop. It looks like a shop. You sort of running your hand over it, and you sing. You know, as far as you're aware, it is what it is.
All right. Can Valashul look for the? Are we outside the store that we're meant to be outside?
No, I need you to roll me a I need you all to roll me a where is, like, so yeah, I need you to roll me a where your god. Where are your, oh, there they are. Let me see. I need you to roll me a let me just check what it's going to be. What would is it going to be? What's it going to be? I'm trying to think.
What are we? What are we trying to understand?
No, so basically, you need to throw me a saving throw. So it's not, you're not being charmed, but it's kind of like being charmed.
So wisdom then.
Wisdom.
Constitution, wisdom, yeah.
Wisdom. So roll me a wisdom roll for all three of yous.
Thomas gets a +2, and so does Lance. Because of my aura of protection. Oops.
Okay.
So your aura of protection protects everyone but you.
Yes,
okay.
That's how it goes. Unless I get knocked out, then you don't have an aura of protection.
Okay. You start to Val. You start to sort of walk off in a. You start to walk off. It sort of back the way you came. Down the road. Of your own sort of kind of, you just start walking off. You're speaking to the rest of them, and then you stop and you start walking in the other direction.
Am I aware of this, like in my own mind, or
you're not in your own mind?
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I'll start walking off.
And do we notice this?
You do notice him walking off, yes.
Okay, so Thomas nudges Lance and sort of indicates Valashul wandering off by himself. At which point I think Lance would try and at least get in his way, try and figure out where he's going, and Thomas calls out, where are you going? What have you found?
He doesn't reply to you.
Okay, Thomas calls to Lance, stop him.
Roll me a strength check, then.
Oh, shit.
He sort of kind of tries to tackle Val. He sort of kind of bats him off and carries on walking.
Byways.
Oh dear.
Right, hold on. What have we got? Okay, Thomas runs forward and shoves his staff between. Yeah. between Valashal's feet, just between his feet, to try and trip him up.
Okay. Roll me a hit roll then, I guess. Nope.
Nope.
Okay, you've got one more try to try and stop him. Have you got anything you can do, spells or anything to sort of...
Let's have a look at what spells I've got. I'm assuming Fireball wouldn't be the best one right now.
Yeah, please don't cast Fireball at me.
Yeah, anything to sort of...
Snap me out of it.
Oh, hold on. What does that do?
He casts slow on him, so he gets away slower.
Well, there was that. He can't move as fast.
But yes, I was going to mention that.
Can I cast Mage Hand and slap him across the face with it?
What? Can you actually do physical damage with Mage Hand?
Well, you can like open doors and containers and things with it. So
it says on the bottom.
The hand
Use the
can't
hand again,
attack,
yeah, but-
activate magic items, or carry more than 10 points.
not
If
really
you
an
cast,
attack.
if you cast slow on him, I'll let you do another try and tackle him again.
Okay.
Why did the tank have to fail the check?
Have we? Have I had my rest now? Have I got all my spell slots back?
Yes, you do. Yes.
Good stuff.
Okay, so he starts slowing down.
Okay, in that case, we'll have Lance try and body check him and grab him again then.
Okay. Yep. All right, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna be okay. Yeah, see, you sort of grapple. Roll me a strength and roll me a strength back again. Val.
Me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, roll me 2 because we'll see if the first one sort of succeeded or not. Yeah, so the first one you would have actually. Oh, actually, no, strength of 6. So you beat out of both of them. Fuck. All right, no, I'll not do that. Okay, because we could be here forever. Okay, so you sort of kind of managed to sort of, you know, with the slow and with sort of, you sort of kind of managed to sort of stop him, from moving. He eventually sort of, comes to. And kind of looks at Lance sort of hanging off his leg, sort of, you know, going, what are you doing? What the hell's happened?
I'll help Lance back to his feet anyway.
You appeared to stop mid-sentence and then about face and wander off. Where were you going?
I have no idea. Perhaps you should have followed me.
Bit late now, but still.
Yeah. Well, if it wants us to go away from the shop, maybe it's worth actually investigating what's inside. Or
Quite agree.
Yeah. Okay, so what are you doing now?
I'm gonna go break an entry.
That went dark quick.
Is that lawful? Is that...
It is. This is an investigation.
Okay.
I'm acting on behalf of Bahamut. No. I feel like that's a lawful action.
Yeah. Okay.
He feels that something's going down here.
As long as you can
There's trickery.
justify it, I'm sure you're alright. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll try the door handle first.
Okay, you try the door handle, and it opens.
Okay, I cautiously step through the threshold and start looking around.
As you sort of you don't sort of note, and it's dark. Have you got dark vision? Have you got dark vision or
I do,
anything?
yes.
So it looks like a shop. It looks like a magic store. There's vials and trinkets and things around.
Thomas puts a hand on Valish's shoulder and says, if this is indeed a magic shop, there could be magical alarms or unseen devices to keep intruders out. Suggest you tread carefully.
Valish will just stand still for a moment and a bit like a freeze frame moment.
Right,
Can
hold on. Before
Okay.
you go anywhere. Boom.
Tech magic. You says for a duration sense of possession.
So I'm not looking for items per se. What I'm trying to get a sense for sort of magical traps or something that would impede us.
There doesn't seem to be anything of that note there. No.
Okay. Thomas looks at Valishul and says, well, seems safe enough.
With that being discovered, Valishul decides to search behind the counter for any ledgers or information as to where we could find Eldrildor?
Eldrildor.
Yeah, his residence or where he lives.
Okay, so
Investigation?
yeah, roll me investigation. Yeah, you don't find, there's scrolls and bits and bobs and stuff. You don't really see anything that sort of points to where he may reside.
We still got the bard with us.
Roll me a perception check. Oh, actually, no. Is what's the other one? What's the one where you sort of what is it? Not a perception. It's kind of like perception, but it's not when you're actually looking at something.
Oh,
investigation.
No, investigation. What's the other one when you're sort of seeing if somebody's
survival,
somebody's lying?
Insight.
Insight. Yeah.
Nature.
Oh, actually, it wouldn't be insight. Actually, it wouldn't be insight. Roll me perception.
Natures, and you're looking for tracks and things
All
like
of
that.
us.
Yeah, just roll us perception. Okay, so Thomas and Lance, you notice that the bard isn't there anymore.
Hmm.
When did he leave?
Probably when we were stopping you from wandering off.
Ah, true.
Any idea where we might have gone? Is Lance able to track? Is that one of his skills?
Does he have anything in that relates to tracking?
As a ranger, he probably should.
Yeah.
He should.
Mask of the Wild. He might have Natural Explorer. Deft Explorer.
He's got Natural Explorer. Oh, he's got Deft Explorer. He's definitely got Deft Explorer.
Do you have to pick a specific sort of?
No, so that basically just gives him a proficiency. Spellcasting. Not actually. That'd probably be better if I actually looked at his thing instead. Oh, I can't.
That's alright, I've got it here. I can't see anything that does, actually.
Yeah, so just roll me a survival, I guess, isn't it? Just sort of for tracking.
Okay.
Yeah, so there are lots of sort of tracks in the area. Obviously because it's a city. And he can't really differentiate between one set of tracks and another. The area is just too busy for him to sort of know where where the bard's gone, basically.
Right. And what time of day is it at the moment? I know it's night and it's dark.
You're looking about sort of 6, 7 o'clock at night.
Right. I think there's probably not much we can do until daylight, but I'm starting to borrow some of Valishul's paranoia that maybe we didn't stay in town. We hike out for an hour or so and make our own camp, live off our rations that we've been lugging about for the last month or so and not really used.
Can we set up on the hill then that overlooks the?
That could be useful, yeah.
The town, watch it through the night.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Well, taking turns, like...
Well, Lance can do a decent sort of watch anyway.
Oh, okay.
Where he's, he can still see and hear whilst he's resting. So he could wake us if anything happened.
Okay.
Okay. So you're making your way out of town back to the hill?
Back to the hill, yeah.
Okay.
To the very top.
Okay. So you make your way back to the hill. Town seems to be, around where the sort of the pubs and stuff are. There are still people sort of are mingling around and stuff. But you make your way out unmolested, and you set up on top of the hill. There's a tree there, and you sort of kind of set a little campfire and set a watch. For the night. And is that what you're doing? So you're taking turns on a watch then, sort of?
Yeah, and then we're going to go in the early morning, maybe?
We'll get up sort of just after breakfast and head in.
Okay. So you wake up the next day and roll me a perception. Thomas, you notice that there's another bag. There's another bag by the tree that isn't yours.
Mm-hmm.
We're both so paranoid.
There's nothing magical there. It's just a bag.
Okay. I will. See, it's bloody Wes. I now want to stand back and poke it with a staff and see what happens.
By the way, do
like
not
a backpack sort of bag, or
we're gonna have to end this soon, so I'll sort of kind of So it looks it just seems like one of the it looks like one of the ones that you're carrying. Just like where you're sort of an adventurer's backpack.
It's a mimic.
By the way, both of yous, right? Do not Google anything about so if you think you've got ideas about what's going on, don't Google it because you'll ruin it.
Oh no, I wouldn't.
Right,
no.
so
Right, okay.
just like because this is very much about you not knowing what's going on to make it interesting for you. So just stay away from the internet. Don't go sort of like obviously don't stay away, but don't Google anything and stuff about D&D and things like this because you'll ruin it and then you'll like I know what's going on. Okay.
Right,
So,
got you.
Right. Okay. So
wait, are we not finding out what's in the bag?
So you're currently poking it with your staff.
Okay.
He's got sort of Ogma's balance and he's kind of going. He's sort of poking it at the minute.
Getting ready to release a light essence at it just in case.
Valishul's carrying behind him. Divine sense.
The tank is cowering behind the wizard.
Protect me from the foul magics. I don't know. Everything in D&D can eat you.
Yeah.
How do people live in these worlds? Oh dear. Valashul's going to be as anxious as me by the end of this campaign.
I'm assuming fireballing the bag is not a good idea. Okay, what could possibly go wrong? Let's open the bag.
Mimic.
Okay.
No.
It's got to be a mimic.
You open the bag, and you sort of roll me sort of investigation. Okay. You find you find supplies. You find some gold. You find like a diary. You find like what looks like a like a painting. Actually, no. So you find a diary. And you find some little bits and pieces, some little trinkets and things like that. Some of them you feel are familiar.
Okay. What language is the diary written in?
The diary is in common.
Okay. Let's have a quick read through the first couple of pages, then see if I spot anything familiar.
Mimic.
So you start reading a diary, and it's from a warrior named Uvumi. Actually, no, we're gonna call him. I don't want that. She's called. Earth in a minute.
Hootie McBoob.
Misty LaRue.
Busty Sinclair.
Busty Sinclair. She's called Augrey Dugfuss. Augrey Dugfuss. That's right. Augrey Dugfuss. And you read a diary that seems to mimic, that seems to be telling tales of your adventures from the babbling bat to the fight in the pub, to the battle of the Falkos Bridge, of the Battle of Silkside, of meeting Val, of the death of Solden. You have a full diary that seems to talk about as if she was there. You then start reading further on, and you get closer to the date that it is. It basically states that you're making your way to Dry Harbor to find a mage called whatever his bloody name is, Edrildor. And that the bard who was meant to be helping you has gone missing, and that you've set camp on this hill, and that she'll take final watch to check.
The fuck. So, Augrey
Dugfuss.
Dugfuss sounds too familiar to Ogma to me. I'm gonna pass the diary to Valashul and ask him if he's getting any sort of divine resonance from it.
Okay, I'll ask a quick question. Is the smell, like the sweet smell, still present with the underlying tone?
Yeah, you can still sort of kind of, it's still there.
So, am I able to determine if this book is also smelling that way, or am I just
you're
kind
not.
of like blocked?
When you sort of take the book from, Thomas, a piece of paper falls out of it.
Valishal picks up the paper and has a look at it.
You see a portrait, a painting, like a painting, a small painting of Thomas Lance, you, Draken, Tharaval, Galandra, and another person, a female, what looks like a female warrior.
What race is she?
She's human.
Valishal nods his head in appreciation of the talent that's gone into this picture, admiring himself for a moment before showing it to Thomas. The resemblance is uncanny, but I don't recognize this person, and points out the woman on the end.
It also says there's roll me an investigation roll.
Okay.
All of us?
Yes, you can have. Oh, right, okay. Thomas, yeah, you find a faint inscription on the back that says the Supreme Seven.
So she's the mysterious seventh, then.
Is she the one that's likely to be crafting this illusion or whatever it is?
Possibly, or has just heard of our exploits and is
trying to ride on the back of them.
Trying to ingratiate herself into, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna leave it there. We're gonna we're gonna leave it there. And like I said, do not Google anything. All right, do not Google. You'll do yourself a mischief, because trying to figure this shit out is going to drive you crazy, but it'll be worth it in the end and stuff. But
it already is.
Okay.
To be fair, I think you're further on than me, Danny, and Tom were. And like the first day, like we were like, basically there'd be like things as like, oh yeah, there's a big shiny thing over here. You should look at this, and we're like, let's go this way.
Yeah. You also you in the backpack, I'll say you find quite an ornate mirror. You find an ornate mirror in the backpack as well.
Don't look in the mirror.
Also in the diary, the last. And before we finish, the last entry in the diary states that she heard a scream coming from where the shopkeeper's place is, and she was going to investigate.
A scream.
And that's it for tonight, chaps. That's it.
No.
Sorry, Michael, you didn't get to do much and stuff, but I sort of.
I still enjoyed that. It's kind of it's interesting, sort of watching people how they deal with it in comparison to our calamity.
It's not going to be exactly the same, because I have to I have to change things slightly. But yeah, it's going to be.
It's kind of reminding me of like what happens next. Like I was sort of thinking about whenever they talk to people will be interesting, because I remember there's something gets said and I'm like, oh yeah, what the fuck?
Okay, so yeah, that'll be more to come back next week to finish off. If Yeah. To be honest, this is probably going to take another session. So even if I'm not sure, the other guys will just have to probably sit and listen. We could, if you want to do it on another day to sort of get it out of the way, it's up to you and stuff. But
I don't mind. It's whatever really. Whenever's clever.
Well, when either of you are free and stuff, we could just sort of kind of carry it on because it's technically a side thing. I was going to do it for all of yous, but I'm kind of glad it's just you two because you don't know at all what's going on, whereas the rest of them do. So, they would have been kind of going, oh, I do this and I do this, and so, so.
Whereas me and Thomas just take baby steps and use
so
all of our spells to our advantage.
To be honest, I don't think you're doing any worse or any better than me, Tom, and Danny. I can't remember what. I remember sort of watching a bit of Mark and Pete doing it as well.
Yeah, Pete sort of did some very silly stuff and nearly killed the entire group, but it's just standard Pete for you though.
Just keep poking it with a stick, you'll be fine.
Okay, so we'll leave that there then. Okay. So you've got your notes. You have to take notes in this because you'll forget stuff and then you'll just be like, I'll say things and you'll just go, it doesn't mean anything to me. So you have to sort of maybe look back on stuff.
I've got 3 pages of notes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay. So all right, cool. We'll leave it there and we'll carry on. We can do it just the two of you, or we can wait warn the others that this is happening and see them all sit there squirming in the background. I'm just worried somebody might say something to you. Like I said, don't Google anything. You'll ruin it. You'll ruin it for yourselves. Right. Okay. Very interesting. We'll see how this goes. Some people who are watching this probably know what's happening. If you don't Google it either because you'll ruin the surprise. So for tonight, I've been Matt Geary. With me has been Michael Estharaval.
Hi, everyone.
Wes is Fellowship Nostius.
Good night, everyone.
And Dave is Thomas Moonstar.
Strange things are indeed afoot at the Circle K.
Night, everybody. Bye.